Yo, what is up, guys? What is up? Today I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this new season, how it affects top lane Olaf, and overall the direction which League is heading. Now, there is a pretty good chance that if you're watching this video, you've already seen some of the changes, so I'm only gonna give you a short recap to what is different exactly, just to have a reference, basically. Now, with that being said, let's begin. Okay, now for the changes themselves, we begin with the top lane quest. So with the top lane quest, it's a new mechanic where when you start the game, each role will have a different quest with a different reward, and it basically has experience. So you start at 0 obviously, and it's up until 1200 experience. And to work towards this quest, you need to kill minions, kill the enemy laner, take plates and towers. They all give experience towards your quest. From what I've seen, if you are winning lane, you're gonna finish it around 8 to 10 minutes. And both top laners can finish, by the way, but the one who finish it faster will basically benefit more from it, because what it does is you're gonna get for the rest of the game you get 15 more experience from everything, a 700 flat EXP, which is half a level at level 13 or level 12, whatever. And the biggest two things, in my opinion, you get a free teleport with a 7-minute CD if you don't have teleport already, and if you do have teleport, it just gets buffed, basically. You just get a buff teleport. From what I know, you get a big shield whenever you cast it, and it's also faster, you know. It's basically upgrade teleport from nowadays. And another very cool thing, only top laners will be able to do this, but you'll be able to reach level 20. And what it does is, on some champions, it buffs your passive. If you are playing Darius, for example, you get 50 more AD at level 20. For Olaf, you get some changes as well, which, there are some changes as well for this level 20, but we're gonna talk about it, talk about just a bit more later, okay? In this video. Okay, now, for the towers, tier 1 will now have 90 HP, but don't worry, everyone just gets a free teleport. Not free teleport, free demolish, my bad. But yeah. Now tier 2 and tier 3 have plates, so it just means that Riot wants you to be in top lane a bit more, just hit towers a bit more, roam less. Which, you know, it's fine, it just makes the game more solo play oriented, and you're gonna see that there are even more changes like this, but yeah. And one more thing for the towers, Nexus towers now respawn at 40% HP instead of 100%. Home guard is buffed. You know, you just in the early game especially, it's buffed a lot. You can run from base to base almost with it. If you don't meet any enemies, if you meet an enemy, your home guard is just gonna go out. So we're gonna see maybe there is gonna be some manipulation from enemy junglers to stop your home guard earlier or something like that. Feats of strength and Atakan are completely removed from the game, so your bot lane losing or whatever, that doesn't really matter anymore. Or at least it matters less. Obviously it still matters, it's still a team game. But it just means that you are not pressured to be on that Atakan or play towards feats of strength. You can play League more normally. And the objective timers are changed. Grabs are at 8 minutes instead of 6. Herald is at the same time, 15 minutes. I think that's what it used to be in the past as well. I'm not 100% sure. But the biggest one, in my opinion, is Baron at 20 minutes. So Baron at 20 minutes means you can basically now take inhibitors and just end games early. You can basically speedrun games as a top laner, especially as a top laner. Yeah, and one more thing I forgot to mention, they're also changing the crit. So it goes from 175%, the crit damage, to 200%. So overall crit love is just a bit stronger later into the game. So that's cool as well. Moving on to the items. So they did add a few items in the game. We're gonna begin with an item called Endless Hunger, which gives 60 AD, 5% of Omnivamp with 20% tenacity, gives ability haste based on your bonus AD. So that synergizes well with Olaf's ult. You get to around 60 ability haste later into the game, which is, you know, it's been nuts. And when you kill an enemy champion, you get Omnivamp for 8 seconds. You get 15% Omnivamp to be more exact. Now, the price for the item is fine. It's average, you know. It's only the tenacity that kind of sucks, and the ability haste is not that useful on Olaf. It's a fine stat, but normally you don't really get more than 1 W in a fight, and it does make your E cooldown a bit like short, right? That's the only good part. But overall, this item, I could see this item being used with healing build. So you go like Ravenous, Endless Hunger with Bloodthirster, and then maybe a Death Dance. Or like Ravenous, Death Dance, and these healing items. I could see them work sometimes. You can also run like Bloodline, you know? If they have a lot of melee champs, let's say they have 3 or 4 melee champs, you know, you reach like over 100% lifesteal. Like if you combine it with the Omni Vamp as well, it does make for a viable build, like especially at lower reloads, but at higher reloads as well, like I said, into these melee comps. Okay, now they did change like crit a little bit, like Lord Dominix to be more exact. You see, Lord Dominix now, it's not so good anymore into like squishes. They made it go up to like 3,300 gold, so it's a tiny bit more expensive now. But in exchange, we get something called Giant Slayer, which the more HP the enemy has than you, the more bonus damage you're gonna deal to them. So if you are fighting, let's say like a Kled maybe, or any tank, you just don't build HP. So you can maybe get this item as third or even second. And if they have like 1,000 more HP than you, you just deal like, you know, 10% more damage. So that's not absolutely horrible, but you know, Lord Dominix, in my opinion, was an important part of like crit. And yeah, but to be fair, they did buff like crit itself. Like, you know, you get 200% damage on crits. So, you know, that's that. What else do we have? Let's see. We have Fiend Hunter Bolt, which is an item that is somewhat similar to like maybe Experimental Hexblade. Like when you pop your ult, something happens. So it doesn't give any AD, but it's very, very like cheap. It gives like 30 ultimate ability haste, some move speed, attack speed, and crit, as you can see right here. But the important part is when you press ult, you get 3 guaranteed crits and sort of a Hilo of Blades. But the problem is the crits are very, very weak. Like it says you only crit like 75% of your normal critical strike damage. And it says if an attack would already crit strike, you would instead deal 10% bonus true damage. Now the issue is, if you are building this item, you are just not gonna have that much AD. You cannot build Phantom Dancer anymore because you're just gonna have way too much attack speed. And it does have some synergy with Olaf, it's just it doesn't really fit in any builds because you cannot build this early, and building it late is just, like I said, like I just don't see it as a worth item. It's just that it's very like cheap. So I'm gonna experiment with it a bit. I did try rushing it, but rushing it just doesn't do it for me now. So, you know, maybe it's good as the last item. Okay, and now we have 2 items which, you know, open up for like funny builds. I don't think they're viable, but I'm just saying. So we have Protoplasm Harness, which when you go low HP, you basically get sort of a Mundo ult. So you become bigger, you get 10% more attack speed and 25% tenacity, which again, the tenacity is useless. But yeah, the problem with this item is the healing that you get scales on... the healing that you get when you get low HP, it just scales on resistances. So with Olaf, you don't really go full resistances. So that's like the main issue with the item. But you know, it's funny. It's funny. And we have another one, Bendel Pipes, which is another support item. But when you slow or immobilize an enemy, you get 20 flat move speed. But the funny part is nearby allies, including yourself, gain attack speed. So I don't know exactly the amount, but for 2,000 gold, like getting some attack speed, you know, maybe if you're like super behind or some bullshit, hey, you know, maybe there will be a possibility in the future if we get like another interesting like supportive item, you know, just for those games where you're just hard losing, or maybe your champion is just not good into enemy comp. You can play to help your team, you know. Maybe you have a Vayne, you get what I mean? You have like a Vayne Lulu, and you just buff the Vayne even further with this item. So yeah, that's like about it for the items. Okay, and now overall thoughts about this entire season. I'm not gonna lie to you, I think it's like a net positive, like for Olaf. Because how I see it, it's gonna be a season where it's a lot more about solo play. And Olaf was like always a champion that thrived on like playing solo, right? Like the champion was never all that good into team play. I mean, obviously, like people can make him sometimes work into like pro play, into like certain comms, or like if they have certain teammates. But I feel like it's like harder to make him work at team play than in solo play, if you get what I mean. So just because of that, I think overall, like the changes in the towers with like the quest, so like your team doesn't really matter that much anymore. Like I said, it's still gonna be like team play, but it's just the percentages are like, let's say in this season, like season 15, because when I'm gonna post this video, it's still gonna be season 15. The ratios are like 80% team play, 20% solo play, or like 70% team play and 30% solo play, whatever. It's gonna go somewhere around like 60-40 in my opinion right now, or maybe even like 55-45%. So like 55% like team play and 45% will be like solo play. So overall, I think it's gonna be easier to climb, easier to win certain games. You also get better scaling, sort of. Let's say everyone reaches level 18, you know, that would be pretty bad for Olaf, you know. You used to reach at level 18, like everyone in the game, you'd kind of just lose because you just get popped. Like you'd barely be able to reach melee range. So now, you know, at least we get level 20, we get some more stats. Because Olaf gets pretty decent stats, like compared to other champions when he levels up. So, you know, that's cool. But yeah, I'm actually excited to like play in this new season, and these are like my thoughts so far. You know, we're gonna have to see, we're gonna have to experiment, and I'm gonna update you guys. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video, and you know, thank you for watching. If you like watched till the end, and I'll see you on the next one.